In terms of budget, we're actually in pretty good shape this quarter. I'm writing on behalf of my manager, who's currently out of office. In order to finish this on time, we'll need to start today. Regarding your last email, I think we should hop on a call. With regard to the contract, everything looks good on our end. As for the deadline, I think we can push it back a few days. When it comes to marketing, she really knows what she's doing. In relation to the project, we still need to finalize the timeline. As a result, we had to cancel the meeting entirely. Due to the weather, the flight was delayed by 2 hours. Because of you, this whole thing actually worked out. Thanks to your feedback, we caught the issue early. On the other hand, this option might save us more money. In spite of the setbacks, the team pulled through. Despite the rain, we still went ahead with the trip. Instead of driving, let's just take the train. In addition to the report, please send over the raw data. Along with the invoice, I've attached the receipt, as well as she handles sales as well as customer support. On top of everything else, now the printer's broken. Provided that everyone agrees, we can move forward tomorrow. As long as you're happy, that's all that matters. In case you need me, I'll be at my desk all day. Unless something changes, we're still on for Friday. For the purpose of this meeting, let's assume the budget is fixed, such as we need someone with skills such as coding and design. For instance, last year we saw a huge spike in sales. In other words, we need more time to get this right. That is to say, the plan isn't final yet. Apart from a few typos, the report looks great. Aside from that, I don't have any other concerns. In contrast to last year, sales have actually gone up. As opposed to waiting, let's just handle it now. According to the schedule, we should be done by Friday. Based on your feedback, I've made a few changes. In response to your question, yes, we can extend the deadline. In light of recent events, we're revising the policy. With respect to pricing, we're still finalizing the numbers. I'm actually in favor of pushing the launch back a week. In the event of a delay, we'll notify everyone by email. Let's just simplify this for the sake of time. We made the decision on the basis of last quarter's data. Everyone showed up with the exception of 2 people. In accordance with company policy, all requests need approval. We solved it by means of a quick workaround. With the help of the whole team, we finished early. This event is held in association with a local charity. Prior to the meeting, please review the attached document. Subsequent to the review, a few changes were made. This training is offered in conjunction with the HR team. Despite the noise outside, she managed to fall asleep. As long as the numbers add up, I'm fine with the plan. In accordance with the new rules, everyone must sign in first. On behalf of the whole team, thank you for your patience. With respect to the timeline, nothing has changed yet. For instance, some clients prefer phone calls over email. Subsequent to the interview, we'll follow up within a week. In relation to the budget cuts, morale has taken a hit. Because of the traffic, I might be a few minutes late. As opposed to last month, we're actually ahead of schedule. They fixed the leak by means of a temporary patch. On top of the delay, we also lost the original file. According to According to the report, revenue dropped slightly in June. In order to qualify, you'll need to submit the form by Friday. Apart from the price, everything about it seems perfect. In the event of an emergency, use the back exit. Thanks to the new software, we cut processing time in half. When it comes to deadlines, he's always right on time. Most of the board is in favor of the merger, with the exception of the store is open every day, with the exception of Sundays. Regarding the invoice, I think there might be a small error. In spite of the odds, they managed to pull off the win. Let's just agree on this one, for the sake of moving forward. As for tomorrow, I still haven't decided what to wear. In addition to her salary, she gets a yearly bonus. Prior to signing, make sure you read the fine print. They hired her on the basis of her portfolio alone. With the help of a translator, we finally understood each other. Instead of arguing, maybe we should just compromise. In contrast to the first draft, this version feels much clearer. Due to a technical issue, the site was down for an hour. As a result, several flights were canceled that night. That is to say, we're not ready to launch just yet. For the purpose of clarity, let's define our terms first. Unless I hear otherwise, I'll assume the plan is confirmed. Along with the keys, don't forget to bring your ID. In light of the feedback, we're rethinking the whole approach. Aside from a minor delay, everything went smoothly. Cities such as Seoul and Busan are popular with tourists. With regard to your request, we'll get back to you shortly. On the other hand, waiting might actually save us money, as well as he speaks French as well as Spanish fluently. In case it rains, we'll move the event indoors. Based on the results, we're adjusting our strategy. In response to complaints, they updated the return policy. Provided that you finish today, you can take tomorrow off. In other words, the deal is basically off the table. The exhibit is running in association with the City Museum. In terms of quality, this is definitely the better option. The workshop runs in conjunction with the annual conference, as well as the apartment comes with parking as well as a small storage unit. In light of the budget cuts, we're postponing the hire. On the other hand, moving now might actually be cheaper. Due to low turnout, the event was rescheduled to next month. Just say yes for the sake of keeping the peace. With the help of a few volunteers, we finished setup early. In case the store's closed, we should have a backup plan. As long as the numbers check out, I'll approve it. She accepted the award on behalf of the entire research team. In accordance with the lease, the deposit is refundable within 30 days. Apart from a slight delay, the shipment arrived intact. The committee voted in favor of extending the deadline. According to the map, the trailhead is just past the bridge. Thanks to the extra hands, we wrapped up ahead of schedule. Instead of calling, she just showed up at the office. With regard to the refund, it should post within 5 business days. As opposed to renting, buying felt like the smarter move long term. In relation to last year's numbers, this quarter looks strong. For instance, some employees prefer working from home entirely. Prior to the launch, we ran 3 rounds of testing. With respect to staffing, we're still short 2 people. Because of the merger, a few departments are being restructured. In the event of a power outage, the backup generator kicks in. On top of the new hire, we're also expanding the office. That is to say, the numbers still need to be verified. As for the venue, we're leaning toward the downtown location. When it comes to negotiating, she doesn't back down easily. In order to renew your pass, visit the front desk before Friday. In spite of the criticism, the policy remained unchanged, ingredients such as garlic and ginger really lift the dish. With the exception of, all departments reported growth, with the exception of retail. The team tracked the bug by means of detailed logging. In addition to the raise, she was also given more vacation days. Subsequent to the audit, several policies were revised. Regarding the schedule change, please check your inbox for details. Despite the small crowd, the concert had incredible energy. As a result, the company delayed its quarterly report. The loan was approved on the basis of steady income. Unless the weather clears up, the hike is probably off. In other words, we're back to square one. For the purpose of this trial, participants were split into two groups. Aside from one typo, the contract looks ready to sign. Based on early reviews, the film is expected to do well, provided that the test pass will ship the update tonight. In response to the outage, the team issued a public apology. In contrast to the previous model, this one runs much quieter. The fundraiser is being held in conjunction with local schools. Along with the manual, the box includes a spare part. The scholarship is funded in association with a nonprofit group. In terms of comfort, this chair beats every other one we tried.